specific, if you are very open about it, you could actually go and browse Australian, ito dapat isulat nyo, Australian New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupation. If you think that you could do the jobs from skill level 1 to 3, and you think you've got the qualifications to do it, and you think you have the potential or the employable kayo dito sa aspect nito, then go for it. But if you think that it's not there, you don't even find a single occupation, then I suggest that you rely on doing the study pathway on your guts and faith.
With this information, we are generalizing it. There is other jobs which qualify, which is more specific. But for the general understanding, we say classify skill level 1 to 3 should already be helping you out.
But
there may be skill levels which are lower, where New Zealand requires you as a migrant that you can go. But as said, it's a general information.
And studying in New Zealand is wonderful. Okay, we highly recommend it to those people who, number one, do not qualify under any category migration stream. Yun yung number one. Second, you have not fulfilled your qualifications in the Philippines. Common reason for Filipina telenovela, nag-asawa, nanganak, nakalimutan ng pag-aaral, then that's the best time to go. Because studying for a year, for 10 months, you get a qualification. Okay, so that's thing. Number two, for teachers. For instance, you have tried getting into Teachers Council, but then Teacher Council, NZQA pa lang, it says that your qualification, your teaching qualification is not comparable to the basic teaching standards of New Zealand. Then we say, okay, do you still want to practice as a teacher? Then the route for you is to either go do a bachelor's, okay? Doing an early childhood, although it's on a shortage list, to be able to qualify, you need to enroll 3 years. Okay, that's a bachelor's in early childhood education. If you are gonna study 1 year ECE or early childhood, that doesn't qualify your family to go with you. Okay, for instance naman, you like cookery. Cookery is a wonderful, lalo na. If you study here, I know 2 wonderful schools in Philippines. If you study in New Zealand, it's much cheaper because mas mura. If you go to former client ko yun, so I don't mention. The one in Quezon City, okay? The one in Quezon City, you fulfill a diploma that's 2 years. In New Zealand, you get the same qualification with an international touch. You only pay for 1 year and you get the privileges of being a graduate. Plus your employability factor is in there. And add to that, you could also bring your dependents. So that means your partner will have an open work permit and your child would also be eligible to be treated as a domestic student. So ganun, it doesn't have to be study all the time. You would have to explore all the options. Now, generally, what are the privileges of studying in New Zealand?
Okay, there is certain requirements. One is that you successfully fulfill your course. Once you're ready with your course, you may qualify for a 1-year graduate job search work visa, which means you can go out into the employment market and work for anybody as long as you like. Well,
open work permit, as we call it.
It's an open work permit. If you find an employment which is related to the course that you successfully graduated in, you may be eligible for another 2 years 2 years restricted work visa to that employer which is sponsoring you. However, you can, in those work permit years, bring your family completely. The kids are domestic students, which means they for primary and secondary education, which means that they get free education. Look, if it's a mathematical thing. You work it out. You have a look what your study costs you here, how long it's going to take. You have a look at the other benefits. It is a well move, and you may run into the risk at the end of the time that you have to go back. So never forget that. Migration is a process which has to be well thought through, with all the risks assessed to it. Basically, we're saying it's up to you. You need to do your homework. You need to sit down, plan, and be aware of all the risks before you get into anything. What we promote with this Immigration Advisors Authority license is we try to protect the migrants. That's the whole principle behind the Immigration Advisors Authority. It's there for you people not to be drawn over the table by anybody. So please trust licensed immigration advisors.
Okay, now we only got 3 minutes, so I'd like to direct your attention to, if you're wanting to go to New Zealand in whatever pathway, the only thing that you would need to consider if you are wanting to get an advisor or consultant, sa ating agent, is make sure that if they're advising other than study, make sure that they have a license.
And please check this online on the Immigration Advisors Authority website. We have heard of a case that somebody is identifying himself as a licensed immigration advisor. People have paid him. It turns out that he's not licensed.
Yeah, you know, the best way would be ask them if they have could you show them your ID card? Because I don't have a packet with me. That's our only option. It's like our license, basically the same license. No, just that.
It says licensed immigration advisor, the name, what kind of license has been given to you, the expiry date, and the licensee number. Ask for this card or a proof.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, for this event, we have actually booked in meeting room 11. So we have a orientation as well as we're doing one-on-one consults. So you either speak to Holger or to me, and it's a comprehensive one, and we're going to discuss the different pathway. Similarly, you could just go to our booth, register, and be put into our database, and then we send you out details about free orientation to be held in our office in Ortigas. We also have an office in Rizal, but basically we're both based in New Zealand, although I go to Philippines every other month. So I'm in the Philippines, so I'm living half of my life in Philippines and half in New Zealand. So that's it. It's over there, and thank you very much. What we will do now is probably give you out brochures and give you our business card. So that contains both our addresses both in New Zealand, and that's the other thing. That's another plus. You know why? Because all the clients that come through us, we pick them up at the airport and make sure that you are still being taken care of as soon as you land in New Zealand. Okay, and every year if you're a client of ours, we have a socials. We do conduct a meet and greet, which brings out all our clients because, you know, if you are going to New Zealand or to any country and you don't know anyone, the best way to cope with it is to have your support group. NZIHS has a very strong hold of clients who know each other and then share and help each other. So we do that every year, and we're quite happy with the turnout, and alam mo po yung gamit is passed on from one family to the other, which is really good.
We are very transparent, let's say it that way, and we don't have a problem with our clients communicating with each other about financial budgets that we hand out because we have got a structure which is the same for everybody.
Alright, so are we going to open questions or it's going to be dealt later on? Ate, questions ba pwede or you do it after? We'll do it after. Thank you very much. In the meantime, we'll hand over our cards to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow! Yan ang